Modulus is a concept that you've likely heard in math. If not, it's something that is pretty common in programming, and it's represented in programming using the percentage sign. And modulus really, it just says, give me the remainder, and that's all you're saying. And so if you're going to write an equation, you'd actually show like 17 modulus 7, and that says, okay, if you divided 17 by 7, what is the remainder? And so you can see here's like a normal division problem that you'd see. And if you did this division out, you'd say, okay, 7 goes into 17 two times. 2 times 7 is 14, so there's a remainder of 3. So if you ask for 17 modulus 7, the answer that you would get is 3. So let's look at this problem. It's the same thing, a regular division looking problem. So if you said, what's 17 divided by 4? Well, we know 4 times 4 is 16. Would give us 1 left over. So 17 modulus 4 gives us 1. So we're going to go through a few more problems. This is how it would look when you were if you were writing it in your code. So you'd set an integer, and you would give it a name. So this one's going to be integer quotient equal 7 divided by 3. So this would give the division portion of the problem. And then this one, integer remainder, is 7 modulus 3. And always we have to put our semicolon at the end. And that will give us the modulus, or the remainder, if we did a division problem of 7 divided by 3. So we're going to print out in the code quotient, and then we're going to add the variable quotient, and then this is going to be another print line, and it's going to give us the words remainder, and we're going to concatenate it with the variable remainder, and so that way we get some words along with the variable, so it makes a little bit more sense. So before we go over to NetBeans, we're just going to test out what we think will be the answer. So see if you can decide. So 7 modulus 3. So if you took 7, so 3 goes into 7 2 times, because 2 times 3 is 6, and there should be 1 left over. Let's see if we got that correct, and we did. So now we're going to try this one. 9 modulus 3. What do you think it's going to be? It's 0. So if you see something like this, then we know that 9 is easily divisible. It's divisible by 3. So this is a way to tell if something's divisible by another number. 6 modulus 4. 4 goes into 6 one time, and there's 2 left over. So 6 modulus 4 should give us 2, and it does. So the other neat thing about modulus is you can figure out which numbers are even versus which numbers are odd, because if it's an even number, it's always, if it's whatever number it is, modulus 2, you should always get a 0, because every even number is divisible by 2. And this one is with a modulus 3. Anytime you get a 0, then you know that the number is divisible by 3. So knowing modulus can be very helpful when you're programming code, and you're going to be using it this week, so it's important that you understand the concept. Now we're going to pop over to NetBeans and see what it looks like. Test how well we did in our sample exercise. So when the book said 7 divided by 3, we think 3 goes into 7 2 times, and we think there's going to be a remainder of 1. So let's see. And the quotient is 2, and the remainder is 1. So let's see if I can change the numbers to match our other examples. So if I change this to 9 divided by 3, see what happens. And what the modulus to also be 9 divided by 3. So we think that 3 goes into 9 3 times, so we think the quotient will be 3, and we think the remainder is going to be 0. We think it's evenly divisible, so let's see if that's true. Quotient 3, remainder 0, so far so good. And our last check is going to be with 6 divided by 4. We think that only goes in 1 time, so the quotient will be 1. And then we think 6 modulus 4 should give us 2. Let's see if that works out correctly. Quotient 1 and modulus, the remainder is 2. So that's how you use modulus.